We've come to film in two very different schools as they are winners of Teachers TV's Tomorrow's Teacher competition. A state secondary in the industrial northern town of Stocksbridge, just outside Sheffield, and a private school in Letchworth Garden City. And we discovered a link between them which might go some way to explaining why they're both winners. It's the effort they put into engaging their students with learning itself.
The unexpected.
Education.
Passion and joy.
An individual source of learning.
Healthy foods!
It makes me like learning.
Exciting lessons.
Drive and enthusiasm.
Good teachers.
A really good friendly atmosphere.
No uniforms.
A fun and exciting place.
Good environment.
A list of a few of the seeds sown in inspiring a love of learning. Over 150 miles apart, independent St Christopher School in Letchworth Garden City and comprehensive Stocksbridge High School north of Sheffield both share a similar philosophy, taking risks and an openness for new ideas.
It's important for us to sort of move with the times and take our children with us.
We have always centred on what is best for the child, rather than what's best for performance data or ease of staffing. We've always concentrated on what's best for the child.
Stocksbridge High School started thinking outside the curriculum box in earnest in 2007. St Christopher began its progressive approach nearly 100 years ago. We visited the primary department.
The school was founded in 1915 by a small group of theosophists who came to Letchworth as the world's first garden city to found a very different type of school. The original ethos was that children should be treated as individuals and that they should find their own talents and be helped to find their own talents in order that they can lead a fulfilling life.
This is a big cucumber.
With an age range of 3 to 18, a love of learning at St Christopher starts at the Monty.
Monty is what we affectionately call the Montessori department of St Christopher, which was actually Laurence Olivier's childhood home. The children are the ones that come in and choose what they would like to do, and through that they show us their interests and where their skills are. Therefore, we're able to know what to do next with them. In the Montessori nursery, we present materials to the children, and these are presented in a very timely fashion. The principles of independent learning that are started in the nursery continue throughout the rest of the school.
Children from birth are designed to learn. They love learning. You know, from the moment they are born, they start learning, and they learn for a reason. And schools should encourage that and enable it and enthuse them to learn by giving them the skills to learn, to become independent learners.
It doesn't need to be one you know anything about, George. It could be an animal that you want to find out about that you know nothing about.
It's up to the teacher to talk to the child about their learning and about their enjoyment and their enthusiasms and their passions, and to work out how they may well be developed, and also to celebrate those that do things differently, not necessarily in the prescribed way, but who think out of the box, in order that creativity is at the heart of education.
We're quite special in the sense that we don't have any uniform, and children are very relaxed when they come to school because they wear exactly what they want to wear.
Collie.
And also by calling us by our first names, that takes down that barrier of formality, and they feel very close to us, like it's a family friend or somebody, a part of the family that they know really well. We teach by topic here, and we have a different topic every term. They definitely enjoy the topic approach, and also it enables them to make links between different things. So they might be learning something in science, and that links with something that we've done in English, and that helps them to reinforce their ideas and the things that they've been taught, because they're then learning about it in a different way, in a different subject.
So we looked at a record, and we're learning about sound
and how sound gets picked up off a record.
Wasn't
So
there
if
used
you
to
look
one
at
where you had
this-
to wind it? In the old days?
Originally you did, so instead of winding it, we can actually do that.
The fact that we don't have a uniform, the fact that it's teaching in the junior school is topic-based, the fact that the nursery is Montessori, the fact that we don't have any particular religious affiliation, but we give everybody a chance in a silence to reflect at the beginning of the day and at lunchtime. Meaning that we concentrate purely on the needs of the children.
If you get it wrong, it's actually good to get things wrong. So if you get it wrong, you'll know what's right next time. You learn from your mistakes, really. So, like, if I would say I wrote fox, this actually happened once. I wrote F-O-X-E, and it was actually F-O-X.
There is an element of risk. It is very easy to remove risk. We could remove the risk entirely by making children walk in straight lines, conform to an expected pattern of behaviour, do everything in an identical way. We could spoon feed them the information. They'd be guaranteed to be able to spew it out in the way that we wanted, and that would remove all risk. But society has removed far too much risk from childhood already. And the risk is there because only through taking the risk and sometimes getting it wrong do you become stronger and grow.
Independent St Christopher School has more freedom to act and innovate than its state school counterparts. So how does Stocksbridge High School manage the risks involved in delivering its progressive approach?
Risk has to be put in context. We're looking at targets, we're looking at success, we're looking at meeting government objectives, meeting the national agenda. But you can actually feel good about what you're doing within your school if you put those in their correct place. Yes, you're working towards them, but you use your own individuality as a school, as a staff, and as the characteristics of your students in order to take them forward. Because those are the sorts of things that students will remember 10 years down the line. What I was looking for in a way was something that was radical, but not defining it as radical. But if you think of it in terms of nurture and sowing the seeds, and the key words I used with this were the fact that we wanted to take small steps slowly.
Very good, well done, excellent, okay.
Question to you, how many jelly babies would you need to eat in order to have enough energy to go right from the ground floor, 380 metres, right up to the top of the Empire State Building?
Making the lessons themselves as engaging as possible by hooking the students from the start is, of course, one step the teachers here are taking.
You only need 2.5, and that will get you right the way up to the top of the Empire State Building.
The students value the Stocksbridge approach, which seems to have improved performance.
Our grades are quite high here, aren't they? So we're expected to do quite well, and yeah, it's really good here.
I think it's good because it makes you remember things a lot easier, and also as technology expands, it's a lot easier to stay on board with everything.
If we want to burn all of this jelly baby, we're going to need lots of oxygen. We could burn it in the air, but this will give us a lot more oxygen, this potassium chlorate. Just about melting now. Once it's completely melted, I'm going to throw... I've picked the cutest one in the entire pack as well. OK? But it's a sacrifice for science, OK?
The onus here is to give students the ability to apply their subject knowledge through the skills they develop across the curriculum.
We've worked on many things over the years, assessment for learning, but we got to the point where we said, OK, we've worked on all these initiatives that have come from the local authority or the government, but now we want to work on something that's about our students. And so we sat down and we made a big list and said, what do our students not have that they need for school, for life, for the world of work? And we made this huge list and we said, you know, our Stocksbridge kids, maybe they don't listen as well as they could, and actually listening is a skill you can teach. Maybe they don't work as well with others. Maybe they're not good at research. Maybe they're not good at editing their own work. We made this huge list of the skills, and we really wanted to focus on the skills that our students lacked. And from that, and that was the academic year 2006-07 when we started that work, and from that grew our Skills for Learning course, where we then said, right, let's teach them, let's take an hour a week, and it was initially in year 8, an hour a week where we deliberately teach them a skill that can be transferred over several subjects. What we're teaching the students isn't just a bunch of knowledge, a bunch of facts to pass exams, but we're kitting them up for the real world. That's what we want, and that's what they want.
We are doing the research, so that's Abby in this group. Do you want to come and get a laptop? So within your group, just make sure you come.
The Skills for Learning initiative enables staff and students to react to their immediate surroundings, as in this Cool Schools session, where these students are encouraged to work in groups to express their opinions about their school and influence the design of the new building set to replace it very soon.
That's Ryan. No, because we swapped.
It gives you skills to learn, like when you left school.
Really, it puts all different lessons into one lesson, and we kind of learn more as well. So yeah, it's better.
There was a feeling, I think, generally in the authority in our school that students couldn't transfer skills. And this is where our cross-curricular work started. We started off, for example, with a group of a history teacher, a modern foreign languages teacher and a geography teacher. And they all taught the same skill to the students, but through their curriculum areas. And that collaboration was really nice. And we've had a lot of that in our school, teachers working together. But that collaboration was a seed of us thinking, we can do a lot more here. And we have an excellent ICT department, maths and computing status, and they've taken a real role in saying, right, we need to teach these programmes, these applications to students, but we don't need to teach the content. So they can be making a PowerPoint about their RE work, or they can be using green screen to do some interviews with historical characters and using the programmes to learn the ICT skills, but bringing in subject content from other places. And that's been a big theme, and lots of other collaborations have gone on since.
The Stocksbridge approach to learning doesn't just remain in the classroom. All the experiences in lessons are pooled together when the whole school collaborates on one day each term they call CREST Day, which stands for
Creative Learners, Reflective Inquirers, Self-Managers and Team Workers. What we wanted to do was to actually deliver these PLTs in personal learning and thinking skills in a cross-curricular context. So came up with the idea of just giving each team a colour and asked them to Google the colour. The green team, for example, took an environment theme. They went and did some work in our school quadrangle, tidied up, and there were probably about 10 or 12 workshops within each team with the theme of green. Some of the groups started together. We had the yellow team who took on the theme of the yellow submarine. They invited the Royal Navy in. They actually built the inside consoles of submarines for the day, and the whole place, the whole school was alive with lots of things going on.
We've seen what Stocksbridge High School has been doing with the curriculum for just 3 years, whilst down south, St Christopher School has been continually developing and delivering its strategy for nearly a century. So how do these two schools sum up their approaches?
When you walk into a school, you can feel it, and you can feel it in your heart what it's like. And what people feel when they come to St Chris is that it's an extraordinarily friendly, very, very purposeful school with people who care about each other.
I wouldn't say that our model is one that I would package and sell to people and say this is the way forward, but there are certain elements of it that you could use, adapt, amend to your staff and your students in any school, because I think that's the way forward, to research, to look, to choose the best bits and then move it on and take it from there.